Hello everyone, it's me and Eldest back with another video, and today I'm going to do a quick review and overall thoughts on the movie Transformers 1. Now, it's been a while since I made a video like this, but I just had to take the time to talk about this film because it is not getting the appreciation it deserves. Now, admittedly, I grew up on the Michael Bay films because my brother liked them and liked watching them growing up. But, so I watched them, but I wasn't like a really big Transformers fan. And this film, the marketing wasn't that great, so I didn't even know the film was coming out. Nothing really interested me, but there were people on Twitter that kept hyping it up, saying that this movie needed to be watched. Especially one Twitter account that has literally had spent so much time, like, not even being paid for, not even part of the marketing, but spent hours marketing this movie because they loved it so much and wanted this movie to be successful. So I budged, watched it earlier today, and wow, was I shocked by how great this film actually was. The trailer, the marketing does not do justice to how well this film is. Now, once again, take it from someone who's not like a real hype Transformers fan, and I can definitely say that this film can be watched by anyone. The movie is essentially a prequel origin story to everything, so if you never watch anything Transformers, you can still come into this movie and enjoy it because it is an origin story. But what I really gotta say is that this film it's really good. It's amazing. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece like some people might say, but it is so freaking good. For starters, it is one of the most beautiful animation films I have ever seen. Like, the time and care and talent was put into it. Every shot, every scenery, every moment of this film is just beautiful to look at. Like, this movie had like a $75 million budget, and I gotta say, they had to have spent most of it on this CGI or animation because it is beautiful. There are some shots that are just so breathtaking, and you just realize that this is animation at its finest, at its peak. It is that is probably one of the best parts of this film, is how fucking beautiful it is. And then the story itself, as I said, it is an origin story mainly about Optimus Prime and Megatron, but they weren't called that at this point. I think Optimus Prime is Orion Pex for short, and then Megatron D16 or D for short, and then you get introduced to what will be Bumblebee's character, but in this movie, B127 or B. And then there is this female elitist 1, I think her name is, and then you have the main prime leader of this world with the Sentinel Prime. I won't spoil the story too much, but like I said, this is an origin story of everything. So it's like the Optimus Prime or Pex, everyone, they're miners in this world, and they have to mine for this energy that they no longer have after a war that happened, and Sentinel Prime was involved with all of these elite prime transformers. Because that's the thing, is that in this movie, only very few of these bots can actually transform. Optimus Prime or Pex in this world can't transform in the beginning of the film, alongside with D16 and the others. Only very few cars can actually, or Autobots can actually transform, and that is what their big main leader, Sentinel Prime, and these others are trying to find in this place known as the Surface, which is up in the above world from the city they live in. And so the plot in the movie is essentially Pex and the others finding a lead to where this main source could be of this energy, so they no longer have to mine, and make life easier for them and show that, anyone could be special despite the fact they can't transform, and try to go after to find where this is located. It's a very vague description of the movie, but I don't want to spoil it because I highly would highly recommend this movie, because this movie is so good and it's not been appreciated enough, especially from Paramount Pictures, because they have not marketed this movie worth crap. But like I said, it does a really good job establishing the world, establishing these characters. It spends a decent amount of time of setting up, what is to like all of the characters and the stuff. It does a good job respecting them, and I like the because Optimus Prime, Pex, D16, they're really good friends and they're best friends, and I like the dynamic between them. It's so. I think they do a very good job with getting for you to get to know these characters, and the tone is done very well. Despite having a character like B127, who is obviously the comedic relief character and who talks a lot and is like the obnoxious, annoying characters, they do a good job balancing it out to make it where he doesn't make the film too over comedic and to keep in the serious tone, but also balancing it to where it's not completely dark, because this film does take some really dark turns. Like, it shocked me again that this is an animation film that is not afraid to take those dark directions, and I wish more animation films will do that. Also, I do like the casting. We get some big names on here: Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson. They do a very good job in this film. Admittedly, I will make Chris Hansen. I feel like there are some parts he probably could have used a little bit more energy, but again, I do really think overall the voice casting was done very well. Like, I forgot the actor who played D16, but D16 was done very well. His voice actor did extremely well with that role. And again, the fight scenes, the fight scenes were also done very, very well. They took advantage of what these Transformers could do with their parts and their weapons and this energy that they have, and really show what these Autobots are fully capable of. I definitely love that. And I will also say the film is also just kind of funny. Like, I wouldn't say it's a comedic movie, but there were a lot decently amount of parts where I actually chuckled and I actually was like laughing, and it was just like, this is actually really good. Like, and it's like, I can't even say it's a kid animation film because, again, of the dark turns, and then they do swear, not heavily, but there are some swear words they say in it. So it's not like a PG-13 film, but it's definitely not. It's a film that kids will enjoy, and then actually adults, especially for Transformer fans, will definitely be able to be satisfied with and be entertained with. And I think the interesting thing, once again, I'm not trying to spoil the film, but I can see this being a setup to what hopefully could get a sequel, because they are leading up to something great, because the overall problem isn't actually like fixed. Like, they figure out it leads up to this big mystery of everything that happened, and so they realize the overall problem doesn't get solved, but they fix like a branch of it to start off with, which is an interesting thing they did, but it also makes sense because it's like an hour and 40-minute movie, so it's like they spend so much time setting things up, so it could probably build up to something more. So I really do hope this movie is successful so it can get a sequel, because I really want to see where this story leads. But again, like I said, the film isn't perfect. My main issue is actually how they handled D16, aka the bot that would lead up to be Megatron, because this is his origin of what leads to him to become Megatron. And while I think there was like a lot of creativity on how it leads up to him liking the Prime bot that was once Megatron, I thought it was a good lead up to it. But the thing is that him and Pex, they're really good friends. They're best friends throughout this film, and then it's hard to explain this without spoiling it. But once it gets to the overall mystery, he kind of just snaps in the moment. Like, it's not like a really good build up to him becoming Megatron. Again, it's just like he's like this really like obey the rules, protocol, follow everything, stop breaking the rules kind of character, and then immediately just snaps and just wants to murder and kill and take out over the world and stuff. And it really does happen in the moment. There isn't even kind of with like Pex, who is like the goofy guy that's like wants to break everything and wants to like do whatever he can to prove his worth and importance. Every choice he makes is stupid and leads into issues. there is no real arc for him. He kind of just adjusts to the situation. But especially with D16, his transition to Megatron definitely felt rushed. Now, the moments at the end when Pax and D16 are transforming and like slowly entering to like Optimus Prime and Megatron, the moment was impactful. But what led up to it wasn't. I personally felt like it was rushed. Maybe not. Maybe other people don't think that, but for me, I felt like it was too much in the moment. Now, the moment that they fight is really impactful, and you feel something because these characters were best friends for half of the film. But again, it's one of those things. Just it's like it leads up to it, but it just, I don't know. It felt rushed to me. I felt like they spent so much time establishing these characters that when it came to the turning point of them, they kind of had to rush it towards the end, realizing they spent so much time having us get to know them, kind of thing. I don't know. That was just kind of my personal opinion on that. But overall, it's a great film. Overall, it's a very satisfying film. Overall, I enjoyed it. It's a very beautiful film. I highly recommend it. This movie needs to get more attention. It is despicable how lacking Paramount has done with this film. They really definitely need to I mean, at this point, now basically the advertisement just falls on us fans and people who watched it to keep pushing it. So if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It is one of the best films of the year, and it deserves way more. It is so good. It is so good. I cannot express how good this film is. If like a scoring, despite some of the nitpicks I can get to it during its story, because that's really the thing, it's the story that really pulls it out. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. As someone who's not a big Transformers fan, I really want to see where the story leads. I was really invested in this world. I think it's very beautiful. I really love the fight scenes and the characters themselves. The voice acting overall was alright. Once again, can pick on the story. Some scenes in the movie, parts of the world, I like the surface. I wish we got to see more of. I wish the development with D turning into Megatron was done better, but overall, I enjoyed it. I loved it. Such a good film. 8 out of 10. Gotta go watch it. Just watch it. Just watch the film. And with that being said, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I post and stream as often as I can, and like I said, it's been a while since I made a video like this, and kind of feels nice to like not play a character all the time and just be me. So yeah, hopefully I can spend more time doing videos like this, because I do miss them. Especially for the new subscribers that came during the summer. I hope you guys like talking to me as an eldest at times, you know, instead of me doing like all the voice characters I do. You know, I won't stop them, but I hope you guys enjoy getting to hear me sometimes over the characters I play. But like I said, good movie, nice, go watch it, and as always, till next time, bye bye.